Oh, good. All right, all right. Well, it is good to see you here this morning. Before we start to sing and go into our praise and worship time, we have a baptism this morning. And before we have the baptism, I've asked Denny to come and share his testimony. He's going to share his testimony. So, praise team, here's a little change in the schedule. We're going to, after his testimony, you're going to come up here and sing, and then we're going to do the baptism. So, for the praise team, now you know. So Denny, he's been coming for about 8 weeks. All right, I was going to say a month and a half, so we're close. So Denny, why don't you share your testimony of faith in Jesus Christ?
Oh boy, all right. Is this on? This is on. I guess I better get used to this, huh? All right. I just want to start off by thanking God for this opportunity to be up here today. Thanking God that Pastor Stout felt the Spirit and knew what this path was and allowing me to be here today. I'm blessed that y'all are here with me today. Y'all, okay. He's not the only one that does it. I do it too. I'm here to share my struggles and my guilt from turning to God and how He never left me. This is my story. I was born in 1977. I'm old, a little old. I grew up in an abusive home, mainly from my mom. She would beat me for, probably just waking up. If I left the tie off, the little tie on the bread, beaten. Cabinet door open, beaten. She had a tough life. She was lost. And that's how I grew up with her. My dad, he wasn't so bad to me. You'll learn a little later he was pretty bad. But to me, he just wasn't a father. He was more of a friend. He didn't give me any guidance, no mentor. Didn't teach me anything of value. When I was about 10 years old, they got a divorce and split up. I didn't see my mother much after that. Now, my father, he got arrested. He was arrested for being a contract murderer when I was about 13 years old. There's a book out about it. It's called Murder with a Badge, written by Edward Humes. We won't get into his story because that's a whole nother story. But that impacted me. He was the person I looked up to, and I wanted to be just like him. And that started me on a journey that didn't end for about 3 decades. I started being rebellious. I was left with my stepmother after my father was arrested. Started getting into addiction, the craziest thing, like huffing gas, huffing air fresheners. Then it went to weed. Eventually, I was running away all the time because I was staying with my stepmom. And the cops got involved. So then they put me in a spec home. Back then they called them spec homes. Today I believe they call them boys' homes or group homes or whatnot. And back in the 80s, you can imagine how it was back then. The staff was just horrible. So I'd run from there. And then after a few months of running from spec home after spec home, Oklahoma decided, you know what, we're going to put him in this place called Lordy Raider. Now that was a juvenile penitentiary. One side, it was for minimum, kids that were just runaways and regular old family problems. And the other side, they had murderers, rapists, robbers, and these are children. And I started off on the minimum side, but I was rebellious, man. The staff in the 80s, Raiders shut down now, by the way. It was a violent place. The staff would attack kids. You can use your imagination on what I mean by that. And I would attack the staff. Other inmates. So eventually they ended up sending me to ITC, to Maximum Security, Constantina Wire, like 15 years old. I was terrified. And then, as a young, immature kid, I realized they're no different from me. What am I afraid of? I've probably been more violent than these guys. So that put me on another path. And I was in Raider until I was almost 18, right before my 17th birthday, so from 13 on. Originally I wasn't even supposed to be there, but for a few months there was a tier program to go through, and if you got through these tiers, you could go home and visit your family on the weekends, then do a week trip and a month trip, and eventually you're out. I didn't have a family. What am I going to do the program for? That's a waste of time for me, right? So eventually, Oral Roberts University, these kids, I think I missed a part, but that's okay. These kids from Oral Roberts University, I say kids, but they're in the 20s and late teens, they were coming to chaplain services. And I noticed what I notice a lot about you guys, this glow, this happiness, this at peace. And I didn't have that because, man, everything was dark. And that's when I first got saved. I first found God then. And things changed immediately, kind of like they are now. They changed. I started running Bible studies. I was helping out the chaplain. I was helping out Oral Roberts University. And I had a court date coming. And God said, Denny, you're getting out. Now, I didn't hear the voice. I just had this overwhelming feeling that I was getting out. And I told everybody that I was going to get out. Even Larry Dobbs, the director of the counselors there, the psychologist, was like, you're not getting out. I'm going to recommend you stay till you're 18. You've only been different for a few months. Now I'm getting out. So one day we're going to court. This was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to Oklahoma City. And I knew I was getting out. And I'm in this van and I start to realize we're running pretty late. So now the first time my faith is being tested, I'm like, maybe I'm not getting out. And so I started reading the Bible that the Oral Roberts University gave me, and it gave me hope. And I'm, all right, back to it. I'm getting out. And we pulled up. We're about 30, 40 minutes late. My mom, who I really didn't have a relationship with, she's there, and she's crying. She's standing outside. What's wrong? She said, well, the judge just let you out. What? What'd he say? Now, this is what he said. It's obviously not going to be word for word. I was 17. But he said something like this, that Denny's been in this place for all these years. He's rejected every treatment that we've given him. He's denied every program that we've given him. He's not going to change. It's a waste of time. And they let me go. I was free that day, and I knew that day that, man, God is real. And I felt it, and I was doing good. I gave a testimony just like this at a church, First Nazarene in Aurora, Colorado. I was going to speak at MAD events. So some of you guys are pretty young. That's Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I was doing good in school. I enrolled into the Army. I took my ASVAB test. I passed it. I was doing good. Then I went to the mall and ran into this kid named James. And James in his pocket had two things that we shouldn't smoke, especially when you're 17 years old. And I smoked them. And I never looked back. I ran from God, from that recruiter for 6 months. Man, he stalked me. Denny, you were messing up your life. Go away, guy. And he did. I ran, and then I felt guilty. I can't go back now. There's no way I can go back to God now. He just gave me all of this. I just witnessed all of this. There's no way I can go back. And I didn't. Guilt and shame. There's no way I can go back to Christ. And because of that, I dived heavilier into crime, into drugs. I was doing them all. I'm not going to mention them. There's kids here, but I was doing them all. And I started selling them all. I got involved with 1% biker gangs, selling. And one point, I'm going to share this story of my being saved for a second time. I brought up those bikers and selling dope. I went to this house to sell dope to these bikers. I'm not going to mention their name. I don't need any blowback or anything like that. But I go to this house, the door shuts, and guns come out. They're going to rob me. So they did. They robbed me of all my jewelry, my money, and my dope. And man, they must have been really high because they wanted to mess with me some more. And Denny, let's go downstairs to the basement. Whew, all right, I might get a little shaken here. So we're going down to the basement, and I know what these guys are about. I know what they're about. The chances of me coming out of this basement are 0. So I'm going down these stairs. I don't know if I was saying this out loud or not. But I said, Lord, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. Please come into my heart and bring me home. Bring me home. We go down in that basement. What these bikers ended up doing is they made me put my right hand on a bar stool. And they took out a pickaxe. And they put a gun to my head. And they told me if I flinched, they were going to shoot me. And they took that pickaxe, and bam, they smashed my right hand. They said, now your left hand. So I put my left hand up there. Bam, bam, bam. They must have hit it 4 or 5 times. The crazy thing is my left hand got a hairline fracture. That was it. They hit it 4 or 5 times. This hand, I don't know if you can see it, that's a fist. They dusted it. 3 metacarpals turned into dust. I had to get titanium. So I get out of there. But I wanted to share that. That was my second time being saved. Generally, I don't think we need to be saved more than once, right? I believed in my heart I was saved when I was 17, but I felt I better do it again just in case. Just in case, let's do it. For 6 months, I was terrified. These men had so much power and control over me. I wouldn't leave an apartment, terrified. And then the devil spoke to me. You like that power, huh? Like, that was good power. And I wanted to have that power. I wanted people to be afraid of me and hide in their apartments for 6 months. And I became that person. I tattooed outlaw on my stomach, and I started doing bad things, like what happened to me. And eventually, that led me going to prison. And I went to prison for some pretty bad things. And I'm not ashamed to share them with you all today. I went to prison for 2 first-degree aggravated motor vehicle thefts, which is carjacking, possession of an explosive device, a pipe bomb. Truth is, I thought it was a fist pack. I was carrying that around in my pocket. I had no idea it was a pipe bomb, but it was. And possession of an illegal weapon. I had a sawed-off shotgun, about 1 inch in a barrel. Never fired it, was terrified of it, but that's what I had. I'm facing 25 to 56 years in prison. Now, I wouldn't go back to God, remember? My shame wouldn't allow me to reach out to God or Jesus and say, help me, so I'm going to do it on my own. And I got 8 years. I did it on my own, right? I was all on my own. I believed it because God's not coming back to me. That's what I believed. So I'd served my time. I got out of prison and I was like, I'm never breaking the law again. And I haven't. In over 3 decades, I've never broken the law. I've never done any illicit drugs. I've never drank alcohol. 3 decades. I didn't turn to God. Well, let me rephrase. I didn't think I turned to God, but I'm learning He was there the whole time. The whole time. You're not getting 25 to 56 years. These bikers aren't going to kill you. You're getting out. You're going to do better. You're going to struggle. And I thought I did it on my own, and I didn't. I'm just starting to realize that. So now we're going to fast forward. I'm struggling, trying to be a better man without God. And then one day, I'm blessed with that kid right there that's filming me, Nico, my 17-year-old child. What God did was say, Denny, you don't care about yourself. You've proven that time after time. I've been there. I've picked you up, and you just don't care. So I'm going to give you this little boy, and I'm going to take away his mother, his family, your friends, and your family, and it is just you and him, a newborn baby. I had no clue what I was doing, man. I'm trying to straighten my life out, but he was right. There was no way I was going to go back and mess up his life like my father messed up mine. So every day after that, I struggled. Eventually, I moved out here to Michigan. I met my wonderful wife, my incredible mother-in-law. I knew she was going to do that. And I became better. I started being a great father, a great husband, and I kept hearing God calling me. Honey, we got to find a church. We got to find a church. 12 years, honey, we got to find a church. We got to find a church. And I'm trying to get better. And then, July 10th of this year, I was diagnosed with cancer, bladder cancer. And that was terrifying. That whole row was my family, my children, my in-laws, and my dear friends. And I was terrified. My coach, given me great opportunities these last few years. And what did I do? Denny, it's time to reach out to God. It's time. You've ran from him this whole time. You have to tell him, I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. I need you. And I felt right then, it didn't matter if this cancer got me or if I was good, which, by the way, I'm low grade. Everything is fine. It was just a slap in the face from God. That's all it was, to get my attention. I'm fine. I go in for a checkup in November. It's going to come clear. I have no doubt. I 100% believe that was God saying, hello, I'm here. So anyway, I got cancer, and God, I really have to find a church now. And I reached out on social media, and everybody gave me these little churches and this with high-value production and all this, and it just wasn't my style. But the only person that didn't post on that Facebook, and he called me immediately, is Jason. Thank you for that, man. You changed my life. He invited me here with you guys. So I come here and I'm sitting here and I swear every sermon from this man, you guys weren't here, it was just to me. And where does God put me? Behind his mother and father. right? That's where I'm sitting. So I've got no choice but to listen to God now because he's talking to me. So here I am. We're going to wrap this up and get out of here. I found God and I learned that he never left me. All these bad things that happened to me, he was right there. I never fell. He was carrying me, and I never realized that. The struggle of being a good father and mother and father and husband that I've been going through, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was him, and I know that now. We're going to wrap this up. These last few months, especially coming here, these last few weeks, the Spirit has hit me, and I feel like I'm going crazy. I can't. My wife, bless her, she's been supportive. I can't sleep. When I'm up, all I'm doing is trying to figure out how I can get this word out to people because I feel it's really important. So I started Outlaw to Salvation. I've joined up with FJM. Hopefully, my first part of the application process has gone through. They're sending it to Allegan County, which is weird. I ran into a family member. I believe she said her husband runs her program. I ran into her at a wedding yesterday. God didn't set that up. I don't know what did. That stuff's been crazy. I set up a TikTok, these social medias. I've never done that before. My TikTok I set up Thursday morning. I'm reaching 7,000 views on TikTok in less than 48 hours. That's not me. That's not me. I want to work with teens that have dealt with life just like me. Guess what my target audience is? On TikTok, you can look at it, the algorithms. The ages of 13 to 19 years old is what's been viewing my thing. That's not me. I don't know how to hashtag and make that happen. It's just happened. That's it. All right, I think we were wrapping it up. I think we got it. And I keep it under that 15 minutes. I think we're almost there. Again, today I'm here getting baptized. And Pastor Stout, he heard me, my biggest, you guys heard it, thing not going back to God was this guilt and shame. And I sent him a text message, and I'm like, I'm a nervous wreck, man. And he sent me 1 Peter 3:29. 21, yes, I'm new to this, all right? And it hit me. Man, it was for me. It's washing my guilt away. All this is gone. And to be honest, the minute he sent that text and I looked up that Bible verse, it went away. Right then, right then. The Holy Spirit's taking me over. I'm going crazy, so bear with me. I'm going to get on every one of your nerves for the next few months. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Danny.